Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. 10 o'clock on Saturday, May 22nd. Let's give it a couple minutes and we'll start the meditation. Okay. Thanks for joining this morning. Thank you. And for those of you joining on, let's give it another minute or so here and we'll start the meditation. Okay. All right. Thanks. All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. My system was working very slow this morning, so I thought, uh-oh, it's going to be glitchy. But once it got up and going, everything seemed to be flowing better. So hopefully it won't be slow. I end up closing out pretty much everything on my computer just to make sure nothing else was pulling information at the same time from it. So, okay, let's see. Mm, I guess there's nothing I need to share ahead of time. As a reminder, I'm guessing Sandy, it's probably you on YouTube, but for those of you on Facebook or watch this video, I have a YouTube channel and there's always videos available from, there's, who knows, there's probably a two, 300 videos on there to watch. So you ever feel like if I miss a day or you just want an extra meditation or whatever, I've got them all titled kind of, although they're you know my meditations are all pretty similar in form. I think that's about it. Thank you for joining. Let's meditate. And so just allowing your body to be completely comfortable in whatever it's sitting or lying on, and just completely relaxing, just letting go so that there's no effort or stress coming from your physical body, the physical form that gives you this experience here. And just taking a nice deep breath in and just really letting go of all the hassles and struggles and stress. And we really honestly don't have to carry those burdens around. I probably just several times a day, just as soon as I'm having a problem, boom, just go right to God. Father, I give this over to you. And just give your burdens, your worries over to God. You don't need to carry those around. And eventually, hmm, let's see here. Just got a tap from Spirit, so I just want to make sure I'm on the right target here. Let's just it's powerful to give your burdens over to God. And I think what's coming through is to use that as a tool, but the best tool is awareness, and that's being aware, that your mind is busy, being aware of the stress, and then when you are aware of it, again, bringing yourself back to the present moment. I also want to say too that sometimes as a meditator, as a fellow meditator, we can focus on being aware of our thoughts and our mind a lot throughout the day because we see that it's an effective way of healing our personal issues. And so, because of that, sometimes I find myself being very focused on my person and all the stories of who I think I am, all the stories that I've bought into, that I'm not enough, I'm insecure, et cetera, et cetera. Um, and so sometimes I'm so focused on the thoughts and the beliefs that I'm carrying because I'm trying to heal my person. I'm trying to heal the one who believes that I'm not enough. I'm trying to heal the one that doesn't recognize that I'm already whole and complete. So if we get so focused on the mind and the thoughts, then what then what will happen is we're going to be steeped in the mind and the thoughts. Let me say that again. Don't be so focused on all the thoughts and feelings when they pop up. Be aware of them, but don't try to solve your issues. Don't try to stay focused on the mind. Don't try to stay focused on the thoughts. You want to stay focused on the true self. And so when you're caught in your thoughts and maybe there's feelings along with it because you're believing the thoughts to be true, don't get caught in that. Notice it, be aware of it, and as soon as you are, just come back home to who you are, come back to the present moment. And that's where you want to keep your focus at is just being aware of your true self, being aware of the silence, being aware of the stillness. All of these things are wonderful things to focus on because they're the truth of who you are. The more you practice focusing on those, the more you'll stay rooted in those. And I don't even know if I like the term the more you stay focused on it, the more you bring your attention and your awareness to the truth of who you are, then you begin to stay rooted in that truth. Hopefully that came across where it's clear to you. Don't keep your focal point on your thoughts, your feelings, your mind, all those things that you are not. When they present themselves, be aware of them, but don't be caught in them and keep your attention on them. Come back to the present moment, come back to the truth of who you are as much as possible. So right now, I just invite you just to let go of all those stories and beliefs of who you think you are, all those self images, all these things that we've accumulated over the years that we've come up with this story, this idea, this concept is to say, this is who Brett is. This is who Michelle is. This is who Sandy is. This is who we think we are. And if somebody said, describe yourself, it would be what most people would describe. We might describe ourselves physically. We might describe ourselves mentally. We might describe ourselves emotionally. We might describe ourselves intellectually. But those descriptions are not who you are. That is what we call the person or the personality. And as long as we're believing that's who we are, this body, this mind, our perceptions, and our actions, then we will be trapped into that experience, which is where stress and suffering come from. And the idea, of course, is to step beyond that, to transcend our person so that we can return home to the beautiful truth and freedom that we already are. We already are that. And you are that right now in this moment. And you will always be that. You cannot ever get rid of the true self. It is the natural and true state of who you are. And no, the video hasn't frozen. Actually, just being quiet right now, which is a rarity. I also invite you just to let go of anything at all that you're holding on to. There literally is nothing for you to hold on to, nothing. And we don't always do this consciously, but unconsciously we hold on to a lot of things because we are coming from our mind, we are coming from our person, and we are afraid to lose these things. Might be material things, might be money, might be a job or a relationship. A lot of times we hold on to our loved ones because we're afraid we're going to lose them. We also might unconsciously be holding on to our body or our life or even holding on to God. There literally is nothing to hold on to. The reason these things are here in your life is because that is what is needed for your awakening. So you are having this physical experience, you are having this physical body, you are having these physical things, you are having these physical people in your lives, a physical partner, and you're having all these things, and you're also having some of these non-physical things, life and God. But those non-physical things are actually who you are. And so you don't need to hold on to those either. There's no way you can get rid of God. You don't need to hold on to God because there's nothing you can get rid of. You don't need to hold on to life because you are life. You are that you are life. That emptiness, that formless truth. And so you can let go of all of it. There is literally nothing for you to hold on to. And then when you let go of holding on to these things, you can free up yourself from some energy that is maybe a bit of a vampire for you in some ways, and some people more than others, because if we're so desperately holding on to those things, it takes energy. It takes energy to hold on to those things, and there's no reason to use up that energy. No reason whatsoever. But not only is it freeing up energy, it's actually also freeing up from you buying into being somewhere else or doing something else that is blocking you from recognizing the pure beingness of who you are. So, in other words, when you're busy doing something and thinking that that's part of your truth, then it blocks you from recognizing just the pure beingness and pure isness of who you are. Any belief that we hold on to that is not of the truth will block us from recognizing the truth. And so, right now, for this moment, I invite you to let go of all the beliefs that you have, even those ones you would describe as good. Just let go of all of them. Ultimately, you are not a belief. You are not any concept. You are not any label. You're not any idea. And that's why it is difficult for, if you listen to any master teacher, they will tell you that words are not sufficient to take you home, to lead you home, because because the words are a mental thing and you are not mental at all. You are beyond the mental. And that's why, you know, what you will also hear the awakened teachers say is it's not going to be another piece of knowledge that awakens you to the truth of who you are. It will be more of letting go of all these past things that you've experienced, because sometimes I use this song sometimes by CeeLo, the song Crazy. It's not because I didn't know enough, it's because I knew too much. Sometimes we're so full of ideas and thoughts and beliefs about who we think we are that it's those very beliefs that block us from experiencing the truth of who we are, that is beyond any knowledge, beyond any belief, beyond any concept, beyond anything mental or intellectual at all. You don't have to have any knowledge to be the truth of who you are. None whatsoever. The knowledge, the wisdom, and the intelligence actually come from beyond your physical self. And when you tap into the wisdom of the universe, the wisdom of God, and the intelligence of God, then you are connecting and aligning with your true self and not being caught that in this belief that you are your mind or you are your body or that you are your feelings either. If you look at feelings, those come from believing the thoughts to be true. When you believe a thought to be true, you will have either a negative or a positive feeling about it, but it's still caught in the thought. It's still caught in the mental and the mind. And we want to transcend all of that. I'm once again feeling that I feel like I don't want to share any more words. I feel like I want to just be in the stillness and the silence. And so when the thoughts start getting busy, the mind gets busy, just simply notice the thoughts. Don't fight with them. Don't get in an argument with them. Don't try to use self talk to say, I shouldn't be thinking or feeling that way, or mm, I wonder why these thoughts are there and analyzing them. All of that just empowers the thoughts to be real in the first place, and they are not. You are not your thoughts. You are not the thinker of the thoughts. That is simply the mind, which is almost like another entity in a way. It's just the mind is being busy spewing out these things. And it's not bad or wrong, by the way. Sometimes I know I talk about the mind and is being kind of the bastard of it all. But the truth is, all of this is necessary. It's all necessary to continue to give you this experience and all these thoughts, these feelings, these perceptions, these actions, being beginning to recognize that you are not these things. That's what the whole game is to awaken. Awakening means when the awareness and the mind separate. That's Eckhart Tolle's description. When the awareness and the mind separate, meaning that you recognize that you are not the mind, you are not anything physical, you are not anything mental or intellectual, you are not anything emotional, you are not the thinker, you are not the feeler, you are not the perceiver, and you are not the doer. You are the witness to those things. But even being a witness is still a label. And so I invite you to let go of that label as well and simply be in the stillness, be in the nothingness, be in the silence, just observing all of it. And you will see when you let go of all the stories of who you think you are, as you simply rest into the stillness and the silence, you will see that nothing, not one single thing besides that, is needed to experience the peace, joy, and love that you already are. But I don't want you to just believe me. I'm not trying to persuade you or convince you. I'm just inviting you to let go of all the stories, all the things you're holding on to, any beliefs, just letting go of all the things you've even learned. Just everything you've learned, even those things your mind would say, well, wait, I don't want to give that up. You are only giving it up from a mental perspective. You cannot give up the truth of who you are, which is rooted in God, is God, and you have all the intelligence, the wisdom that you need, all the memories that you need, because in the as the God essence of who you are, you're aligned with the omnipotent, the omniscient, and either the Everything that you need, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, is available to you every single moment. But we have looked to the mind so keenly, so reliant on the mind that we haven't been aware that all of these things are available beyond the mind, which is true intelligence, true wisdom, and true memory. So I invite you just to come back to the present moment. There's nothing you need to fix or change. There's nowhere you need to go. There's nothing you need to do. And let go of all your intentions, all your agendas, and just simply be here now. Just be here now. Just coming back to the present moment. And I want to share with you that sometimes I will just do a check in and see, what do I feel stressed with right now? What is it that I'm wanting life to be different about than what it is? And occasionally it's good to do this kind of this self-inquiry where we're just simply noticing, oh, okay, I have a stress. Oh, I see that I'm buying into this belief. And because I'm believing this to be true, I'm experiencing stress and suffering. And when you have that awareness, simply notice that thought, notice those beliefs, and just come back to the present moment. And then you can just do a quick check-in and say, is there anything else that I need that I'm feeling stressed with? You can spend some time doing this, but don't stay steeped in it. Don't stay in that place where you're in constant inquiry of the mind. That's important. Just set a certain amount of time to go through it and see where you're stressed. Notice that stress. Be aware that it's just another thought and a belief. Allow it to pass on by and come back to the present moment. Sometimes, because you're so steeped in it as if it's the truth, you're so identified with that belief as the truth that sometimes we can't release it. We can't let it go. If that's the case, just simply be present with it. Just notice with it. And then there might be some feelings with it, some frustration or anger. Don't make the feelings bad or wrong. Simply notice them and just be present with them. Oh, okay. I see that my person is really angry or frustrated and wants life to be different. Okay. Can I just be with that frustration, that anger, that disappointment, that sadness? Can I just simply notice it? Can I simply observe it and recognize that I am not that? I am just the one witnessing that. I like to do a check in really once a day just to see if I'm off track a little bit. I don't even want to say off track. If there's just some kind of stress that I'm believing and I don't need to be carrying it around. Right now, just as an example, I'm noticing that my mind, my person wants this meditation to go better than it is. I'm not feeling the flow as much as I want it to. My person is not feeling the flow as much as it wants it to. So I'm just going to notice that and I'm just going to let that go. And if there's any feelings with it, I'm just going to be present with it and not try to push them away or get rid of it. Just be present with it. So I invite you just to come back to the stillness and the silence of who you are and just simply be. If your person has been caught in the thought stream of the mind, just simply notice that and just simply come back. Just allow those thoughts to simply and effortlessly pass on by and just come back to being aware of your breath, the stillness, the silence, whatever works best for you. And just coming back. I want to share also with you that this morning I got up and I was noticing that my body was feeling out of sorts in some ways. And so I had this experience of just noticing that this body, my stomach, the body's stomach was off a little bit. I was noticing that it felt a little out of it. I was noticing that the body was feeling tired. And I was just noticing that and also noticing that who I am is still here. It hasn't gone anywhere, regardless of the physical experience of the body, which you are not. You are simply noticing. You are the one that is aware of that experience, aware of those feelings, aware of maybe the pain or discomfort. You are not the pain. You are not the discomfort. You are not the body. You are the one that is simply a witness to that. You are charged with taking care of this body. However, this is the body that helps you to have the experience that you have. And yes, be a witness to it, but recognize that you are also the one who has been assigned to take care of this body. But don't get caught in being the body. Just continue to notice the body. Because the body cannot notice you, you can notice the body. The thoughts cannot notice you, you can notice the thoughts. The feelings cannot notice you, you can notice the feelings. The perceptions of the world cannot notice you, but you can perceive those. You are actually the one who is perceiving the perceiver, meaning you are a witness to the person, a witness to what the person is perceiving, a witness what the person is witnessing. And you are not the doer. The one who has taken action is not able to observe you. You are the one who can observe the one taking action. So any of those things that can be witnessed, you are not. You are the one who is the witness to all of them. Coming back to the present moment, coming back to the stillness, the silence, the nothingness of who you are, the freedom of who you are. Mind, the mind. It is your mind, but it's not who you are. If the mind has gotten busy, just notice that. Allow the thoughts to gently, effortlessly pass on and come back to the present moment where stillness and silence, the truth of who you are, reside. If your mind has drifted, just come back to the present moment, back to the stillness, back to the stillness and silence, meaning those that space that's in between your thoughts. And before we finish the meditation, sometimes when we meditate in stillness for long enough, we lose the sensation of our physical body. And so it can be a wonderful time to become aware. Just be aware that you are not anything physical, that there's something in this awareness that is there regardless of the body or mind or any of it. You are the witness to the body or not the body. You are the formless, non physical, shapeless, empty awareness. And so, as a witness to the physical body, to recognize that you are not physical body, nor are you anything physical, nor does it take anything physical to be conscious and aware, nor does it take anything intellectual or knowledge to be conscious and aware. Even the baby, before it learns any words, recognizes its consciousness. It recognizes that it exists. It happens from the very early days of who we are. And it's always there. We recognize that we exist, not because our body is here, because there's something beyond it. And so we're going to finish this meditation up. For those of you who would like to continue meditating, please mute or turn your devices off. And thank you for joining this meditation today. And for those of you who would like to finish up, just taking in a nice deep breath, energizing this form that helps you to get around and have this experience on this planet, and moving it around a little bit, stretching it. And taking your time and opening your eyes whenever you're ready. And let me just take a peek over here in Facebook land. And if anybody wants to say hi, they can. And I will also go over to YouTube. So if anybody wants to say hi over there, they can. Or comments, questions, any of that as well. And good morning, Sandy. Good morning. Thanks for joining. Glad you're able to join this morning. And Michelle, thank you, Brett. Enjoy your weekend. I will, my friend. Thank you. Enjoy your weekend too, you and Sandy. Thanks for joining me, you guys. Love you guys. Grateful for you. And yeah, that's it. I guess have a great weekend, and perhaps I'll connect up with you on Monday. Okay. All right. Namaste, my friends. Sandy woke up with extra determination to get out of my head. And that too is a thought, by the way, but that's okay. You can utilize that to your advantage, but just being aware of all of it, right? All right. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you later. All right. Bye bye.